I've been through a lot of dark places in my life, and when it's the darkest in your life, that's when you see the glory of His light the most. In 2001, I had the flesh-eating virus in my lungs. Man's proclamation gave me a death sentence that they told my family they should ready the pine pajamas, that I was probably going home. And down to the last drops of sand in the hourglass. And I'm sitting there and it's like, Lord, this sucks. If you want me, take me. And I felt myself sliding out of my body. I'm like, whoa, this sucks. But if there's anything left to do, if you got anything left, please, I'd like to stay. Because there's nothing like being called on your word before God. It was like a knot being tied to two pieces of string. And if you're in a place in your life where man's testimony for you is you're screwed, there's another testimony, one that says, I'm with you. There's not a single hair on your head that can be harmed without my say-so. My mom was bedridden for 20 years. My dad and I took care of her. And we won the genetic lottery. I mean, if there could be something that goes wrong, it goes wrong. But in your infirmity and your weakness, He's there, and people will be watching you, and they will see Him there. So if you're on your back, either spiritually or physically, if you think of you're of no earthly good to anyone because of your health, your finances, where you're at, you can witness on your back. I've seen it done for 20 years. And He's with you. And when you think, in this life you amount to nothing, you're wrong. You're being watched. You never know by who. But if His light burns in you, they'll see something. That's testimony. That's something you could throw back at this world. That's something you can cave the devil's head in with. In April, my mom's fight came to an end. And 2 weeks later, my dad followed her.
Oh, wow.
And it felt like my world was just ripped apart. And he was there holding me up. But then I talked to nurses, and all they could talk about was the love they saw between my parents and how good God was that He didn't make my dad suffer without my mom because they loved each other. And where the world would have a testimony of loss and death and separation, God gave one back of love, of permanence. Because if we're in Him, we're imperishable. Love is imperishable. God is love. Love never fails. God never fails. In the dark, when you're wondering where God's light is, it might just be you.